My name is John Hausiku. I'm the Professional Exchanges and Education Outreach Coordinator here at the US Embassy, and I also serve as an Education USA advisor. Today here we are joined by Elizabeth Ote from the University of Arizona. She's gonna share with us about the journey to University of Arizona, and she's gonna give us more details and information that we need when you want to apply to the University of Arizona, what scholarship opportunities are available, and how you can apply, and how you can actually, you know, uh, um, determine your qualifications to apply to the University of Arizona. So I'm gonna give the floor to Elizabeth to just take us through her presentation, and then we will have questions after that. Some of the questions are going to be asked on our Facebook Live, and then we will also read them out. There will also be some that I've prepared personally that I would also have to ask just to put everyone abreast. So please, Elizabeth, just take us through your presentation. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm very glad that everyone's here. Like John said, I'm going to do a presentation on the University of Arizona. I'm going to give you guys information on what programs we have, how to get here, and then information on housing, whether it be tuition and fees and scholarship as well. And then, like I said, at the end, we're going to do how to apply. So again, thank you everyone for joining us, and let's get started. So the University of Arizona was actually founded in 1885. That's a long time ago. And so a good fun fact that we tell our students is that the University of Arizona was here even before Arizona was announced as a state. So that means the university has been here for such a long time that we have lots of resources and lots of information about Tucson. Our student population is about 51,134, and the breakdown goes like this. The undergraduate is about 40,407. Graduate is about 10,727. And then 7% of the students identify as international students. That's a big percentage. And that's also important. We want to tell our international students that there's about 120 international countries represented at our school. It's really important for you to know this because you are going to be in the classrooms with these people and you want to know where they're at, where they're from. So they might be coming directly from Namibia, or they might be coming from Mexico or from Australia. So there's so many different diverse student body. So diversity student body is about 46%. Like I said, it's awesome for diversity. It's great because you're going to be meeting people from different backgrounds and different perspectives. And we are also considered an HS, excuse me, an HSI. That stands for Hispanic Serving Institution. We're very, very close to Mexico, so we do tend to get a lot of international students from there. And so we do have assistance and lots of resources as well for them and for our international students. So this is what Tucson looks like in the evenings. So if you're a city person, but you're also an outdoors person, this is a place for you. So right here, I have the pronunciation. It is Tucson. So a lot of people, a lot of our international students, initially when they come in, they believe it's called Tucson, but it's actually pronounced Tucson. So this is our beautiful Tucson. In the evenings, it's very vibrant. There's lots of things to do. There's lots of restaurants, lots of shopping places. And then in the back, you could see a hill. That's the Tumamoc Hill. So this is a great representation of getting the city life, but also getting the adventurous life all at the same time. So if you are an adventurous person, you like outdoors hiking and things like that, but also enjoy a good meal after a good hike, this is a perfect place for you. So location wise, we are located in the southwest of the US. So a lot of students kind of don't have an understanding of how big the US is. That spot right there where it says Tucson, that's where we're at right now. So we're in the southwest of the US, and these are some of the states that are close to us and cities that you guys might be familiar with. So you're familiar with Los Angeles, San Francisco, Las Vegas, maybe Texas. So those are the surrounding states and cities. A lot of our international students, we encourage them to visit those places. So during summertime, we don't have classes going on. So a lot of the times, our international students would go and travel to these places and see what Texas looks like, what Los Angeles, California looks like. So these are driving distance. You can fly as well. Another option for our international students to explore and learn about the United States. So when it comes to weather, and the vibe of Tucson, it is a small feel but big city amenities. Like I mentioned to you, we have that big city. As you can see, this is what it looks like at night. And then you also have the mountains in the background if you're into nature. Weather, it's always sunny. We do not have winter. We do not experience snow. Like I mentioned, we do have mountains in the background. You will see sprinkle of snow up in the mountains. But other than that, we do not get winter. So for people from Namibia, this is going to be, familiar feeling for you. It's not going to be as hot as Namibia, maybe, but it is pretty nice. Population-wise, we have about 1 million people living in Tucson. So, what is Tucson known for? So, we are known as the UNESCO City of Gastronomy. What that means basically is we have lots of different diverse meals around town. So, a lot of our international students don't, when they do feel homesick, they tend to go to those places. So, we have Ethiopian restaurant, we have a Nigerian restaurant, we have kosher, we have halal, different places that you can get some African food, different places to get Asian food as well. So we were nominated as one of the best places in the world according to New York Times. So it's a really good place full of culture, lots of cultural events that happens downtown. So there's the Tucson Meet Yourself, and then also the Tucson Festival of Books. So if you're a book reader, this is going to be a great festival for you. We are also known for music, lots of music, thriving scenes that happens here. So a lot of our international students tend to have lots of things to do during the weekend. And majority of the music festivals and things like that are free. So a lot of our students are able to go there. We are also known for nature. I mentioned a couple times in my previous slides that we are that city where you could get the city feel, but also have nature as well. So we are known for lots of places where you could hike. We have lots of famous national parks that people from all over the world come to see. It's absolutely stunning. So when it comes to cost of living, a lot of international students don't have a quite understanding of how it works. So to make sure you guys understand how expensive these famous places are, we kind of put a chart right here to kind of give you guys an idea. So for example, a lot of international students they know of New York City, they know of Chicago, but they don't know how expensive it can get. So for New York City, you could sit up to $4,446 for rent alone. This does not include water bill, electricity, your food. It does not include that. That is just your house alone. So it can get really expensive, but compared to all these other big cities, Tucson is very affordable, sitting at $1,289 for rent per month. So again, it's great for you to think about outside and think about all these different places that you could possibly visit. But when it comes to taking courses and being in that place, you need to make sure that the cost of living makes sense. So, like I said, Tucson is going to give you that big city feel, but very affordable rate. So we are also known for our rankings. Here at U of A, we have lots of different rankings that a lot of our international students participate in. One fun fact is we get to, you have a chance to be able to start on research on first day. Other schools, if you go to them, you would require to have a master's degree to participate in research. Not here at U of A. You can start doing research as an undergraduate student. So you could be able to participate in some of these rankings. So we're ranked #2 in management information system, #2 in water resource, #5 in astronomy and astrophysics, #3 in physical science and research funding. So these are great things that we're ranked at. And so this is why a lot of we are top in the nation and top worldwide, where a lot of international students and local students want to come at U of A. So when it comes to academic environment, let's talk about it. When you think about school, a lot of students think about the tuition and fees, and then they think about all the student life ideas. Something that you need to start thinking about is how big are the classrooms? If you go to a school that's 300 people in a classroom, you will be shy to ask questions, you'll be too afraid, and then on top of that, you will have a hard time meeting with your professor after hours. So here at U of A, the student to teacher to faculty ratio is 17:1. So on average, in a classroom, you have about 25 students, which is really, really important because the teacher is going to know you by name. You're not going to be a statistics. The teacher is also going to be able to know your learning style. Are you an audio person? Are you a hands-on student? So then they will be able to cater their your learning style. So which is really, really important. The other thing is we do have teachers assistantships and things like that. And as far as courses that we do offer, we offer over 9,000 different courses. Okay. So again, you need to think about how big are the classrooms, because the bigger the classroom, the less time you will have with the professor. But the smaller the classroom, the more special attention you'll be getting from a professor, and the time that you'll be able to have after hours to meet with the professor one-on-one to answer any of the questions you may have. So some of the academic support we have is another way to show our international students we go above and beyond to make sure that they are academically fit, but also, just as a whole. So we do have tutoring services. Our tutoring services in Think Tank is available for students. So these are students who have taken the courses and has passed the course, then they will teach it over and tutor students. Like I mentioned earlier, we have faculty advising in office hours. So if you, like me, sometimes are in a classroom and you're listening to the lecture, and then towards the end of the lecture, you completely forget everything that the teacher have said, that's okay because you have a chance to meet with your professor after hours, after classroom. So that's an opportunity. They'll be able to give you one-on-one an hour with them to ask all the questions and everything like that. Again, something very important to think about when it comes to college, because that's very helpful when it comes to your success. We also have 5 different campus libraries. Depending on what program you're interested in, there's some libraries are just specifically for specific students. For example, we have a pharmacy library for our pharmacy students. This library is open 24 hours a day, every single day. So for students who are trying to study really hard and they're trying to study all night, you'd be able to have that opportunity to study at that library all night and feel safe. And then we also have counseling services. It's really important for us to make sure that our international students are mentally okay and ready to learn and to explore. And so sometimes as an international student, you will face some challenges like feeling homesick or mentally you're just tired or anything, depression, anxiety. So this is a place where you'll be able to have professional help, and it's all on campus. So you'd be able to get assistance from your professional counselor to assist you transition either to the United States or help you with your homesickness. We have something called Student Success Center. It is in the name. We center our students to make sure that they're successful. So if you're a student with any disabilities, any student who need extra assistance when it comes to testing or anything like that, they would be able to get assistance from this place. So as long as you have your documentation proving that you have anxiety when it comes to taking tests, or you need wheelchair accessibility places and things like that, you would be able to have that when you provide your paperwork to the Student Success Center. We also have academic advising. So a lot of international students, let's say, would come into our U of A ready to conquer. They are like, yes, I want to be a nursing student. And then they start nursing and they're like, no, I changed my mind. I want to be a in business. And so you will go to your academic advisor who will be able to switch the major for you. So here at U of A, you could be able to switch your major as many times as you would like. We always encourage our international students to explore and see what fits. So maybe the best choice is not engineering for you. Maybe the best choice is to do maybe architecture or something like that. So you will have a choice and you will have a time to speak with an academic advisor so that they could advise you on the best way to move forward. So I mentioned earlier about the 9,000 courses that we do offer. These are the colleges at the University of Arizona. We have the College of Science, the College of Pharmacy, the College of Engineering, and underneath these colleges, there are different programs. So if you're interested in finding out if we have the program that you're interested in, you could pull out your phone right now and scan the QR code. The QR code will take you to a program search. Here at the program search, you'll be able to compare different programs. You could search and see your specific program. You could see when the program starts so that you can understand when you need to apply. You could be able to see who the professor of that program is, how long the program is, what courses are they going to take in that program. So all of that information will be right here. So again, if you're interested in searching and seeing if we have the program that you're interested in, please take your phone right now and scan this QR code. And in this QR code, you'd be able to see. Let's say you're interested in engineering and nursing as well. You could be able to compare those and see how rigorous it is, how the courses go together and things like that. So that's another way for you to see and compare different programs. So let's talk about campus. Let's talk a little bit more about the University of Arizona and seeing what do we have. So this is a picture of what our campus looks like. As you can see, it's absolutely stunning. It is very green, very beautiful, very vibrant. So everything that you will need is on 1.5 square kilometers on our beautiful campus. So you'd be able to walk around campus freely, and you'll be able to go from one end to the other in about 15 to 20 minutes. So it's pretty big, but small at the same time. So we also have campus-wide support services to keep you safe. We have RAs, which is residential assistants. These are students who are hired to work on campus, and they are to make sure that the students are safe on campus in the residential halls. So they're going to make sure that students are in their dorms and there's no fighting or anything like that that's happening. We also have campus police. Campus police are on campus just for us. They're not for Tucson. They're not for the state of Arizona. They're just dedicated to us. So if you are studying at the library and it is 3 a.m. in the morning and you're too scared to walk back to your dorm, you can call campus police and they will escort you back to your dorm. We also have something called blue lights. These blue lights are little lights around campus that we have in order for students to feel safe. So in case you're feeling unsafe as if someone is following you, you could press that blue light and a police will come to you in less than 1 minute. In less than a minute, a police officer will come to your rescue. So that's another measure that to make sure that our students are safe on campus. It is a bikeable campus, so if you are an outdoorsy person and very active, you could be able to get a bike and move around. But if you're like, no, I'm not active, I don't like biking, I don't like walking, we do have a convenient and safe and free transportation for students. This transportation, this bus, will be able to take you around campus, but it will also be able to take you around town. So if you're interested in seeing what Tucson has, if you want to go downtown, if you want to go to a restaurant with some friends outside of campus, you'd be able to do that with that free bus. Because you're international students, obviously we know that a lot of you are not going to come with a car or anything like that, so we have free transportation for you. So let's talk about student life. Here we have the day one research, like I mentioned earlier. Other institution, you need to be a master's student to be able to participate in research. But here at U of A, you could start research on day one. We also have student workers position. So if you're interested in working, you are able to work on campus as a student worker. We have over 10,000 jobs available for students. So international students could be able to work. So if you're a nursing student and you're interested in working in the nursing department, you could be able to work at their front desk or assisting them with filing and things like that. I want to make sure that you understand that the money that you're making from being a student worker is not going to be enough to cover tuition and fees. Again, the money that you're going to be making as a student worker is not going to be enough to cover tuition and fees. It's only going to cover meals here and there. You could be able to go shopping with it, clothing and things like that, but it's not enough to cover tuition and fees. We also have international student services. This is services that we have for our international students. They're the people who are going to be giving you I-20s, and then I-20 is that document you need to get your visa. So international student services are going to be there for you. They also host a lot of events for our international students, which is amazing. They also pick you up from the airport on your day one once you arrive and things like that. They are going to be here for you from day one until graduation. Whether it be you are graduating and you want internships or anything like that, anything with status, anything with your visa, they are the people for you. The other thing we do have is campus activities, lots of activities. As you can see, this is a picture of our campus during the time when students arrive. We have fireworks, we have all these different clubs that come out and they will, if you want to join them, you can be able to join them. Lots of activities, lots of games, people winning lots of prizes. So there's lots of different activities that happens on campus that students get involved in. As far as sports, we have over 20 different sports, and we are considered a Division One sports, meaning we are top in the nation. And so a lot of the times we make sure that our students are top in the nation to be able to play. So this is what one of our basketball games would look like. So you as an international students could be able to participate in watching the game. It is always so much fun. It is so vibrant. I don't know if you guys know, but a fun fact is LeBron James's son is currently attending our institution. And so LeBron James's son is going to be playing basketball for our school. So that's how Division One we are. So for you as an international student, if you're interested in playing any sports here at U of A and are considering maybe playing for a scholarship or anything like that, please note that you have to be on the national level in your country, in Namibia, in order for you to play for U of A. So that's something to think about. If you're not on the national level in Namibia, it'd be very, very difficult for you to join the sport, to be completely honest. So like I mentioned, we have lots of different clubs that's happening. Um, so so we have Elaine, I'm not sure, but someone unmuted themselves. Okay. So like I mentioned earlier, there's 400 different clubs. So some of the clubs are culturally. So we have African Student Association, we have the Black Student Alliance, Asia Association of Chinese Students. We also have STEM. If you're interested in student art chapter, women in medicine and science. We also have athletic, creative interests, and Pro Devo. So if you're interested in specific programs, you can be able to, I mean, specific clubs, they are here. They're all divided in different aspects for what you're interested in. You could be able to join as many clubs as you're interested in. And if you don't see one that you are in, like that you really want to join, you can create your own as well. There's different ways that you could be able to create your club and different rules that you need to follow. But other than that, it's super easy for you to create your own club to see if people are interested in the same thing that you're interested in. So when it comes to housing, it's really important for international students to stay on our campus at least the first year, at least for the first year, because we want to make sure that you get familiarized with the school, you get familiarized with the area and United States in general. So when it comes to housing, this is our map. We have all these different dorms scattered all over campus. So we have 4 different districts and we have 23 different dorms. Okay, 23 different dorms that you could be able to look into. So on all those dorms, there's 4 different types of rooms. So if you are wanting to have a single room, you can do that. There's double suite style room and there is apartment style room as well. So there's different styles and all those different styles of rooms have different prices. So there's 4 different prices for 4 different types of rooms. Okay. There's also 11 living learning communities. These are for people who are in honors college, who want to stay around people who are in honors college, people who are interested in engineering and they just want to stay with engineering students in the dorms. So if you want to learn in the school, in the classrooms, but also learn in your dorm, this is something that you could be able to participate in by joining one of the 11 learning living communities. We have about 7,600 students on campus. And so there's lots of different ways for you to meet and make friends. We always tell, like I mentioned earlier, that we need our international students to stay on campus at least for the first year because your GPA is 8% higher than a student who lives off campus because you will have lots of resources on campus. You'll be able to go to the library as long as you want, unlike the student who is going off campus. So what comes in your room? For those students who are interested, this is what comes in your room. You'll get a desk, a chair, a bed, a dresser. You'll also have a kitchen area where you could be able to go and cook things on your own if you're interested in going to the African stores and grabbing a bunch of things. You can come to the kitchen and cook that. We also have a washer and dryer, so you could be able to wash your clothes. We have a lounge area where you can hang out with some friends. It is AC unit, meaning there's going to be AC whether it's hot outside. It'll be AC all over. We also have security. So we have someone at the front desk, but also keys. So you need to, in order for you to enter the dorms, you will get a key. So no one who's not does not belong there cannot get in. We also have on-call workers. So in case of any emergency, you can be able to call someone who's on call and they will be able to come and fix the problem. Like I said, there's going to be space for your clothes. We also have garbage maintenance people who would be able to come in and get your garbage. Bike, there's lots of bike places where you can park your bike if you have one. And like I mentioned, accessibility, if you in a wheelchair, and someone at the front desk to just monitor and make sure that the right people are at the right place. So some of the common questions are, Are meal plans required? Yes, meal plans are required for students who are staying on campus. All first-year students are living on campus are required to have a meal plan. Why is a meal plan a great choice? One, it's flexible options. So you have a swipe plan. So however many times you swipe depends on which plan you decide. So you'll be able to have different options for how many times you want to swipe throughout the day. Um, which is great. And then there's also the convenient. There's lots of different places for you to eat at. It is convenient for you to stay studying instead of going to a different restaurant. So every single place on campus does have a place for you to eat. So whether it be at the library, outside when you're reading and hanging out with friends, there's different places. So it's so convenient for you to purchase something real quick with your CAT card. And there's no cash required. It's also very diverse. There's lots of different places. So if you're a vegetarian or you're vegan or you are you're a meat eater and you love meat, there's different variety of places that you could be able to get food. Um, who will be my roommate? So some students choose to select their roommates. So you will have a chance once you start getting admitted and things like that, you'll have a chance to meet people from Namibia or people from the continent. So you can either become friends with them and then become roommates with those people, or you could choose 50-50, where they choose for you. So the roommate matching tool, usually the deadline for that is March 1st. So for students who are attending in the fall, so basically you'd go in there, put your correct your standards and things like that, and then they will be able to match you with someone who is similar to you. Like I said, that's a 50%, about 50% students choose to live with a random roommate. I lived with a random roommate and it was the best decision ever because she's still my friend till today. So that's something to think about, an easy way to make friends. Okay, so now let's talk about the big and important stuff. Let's talk about money. So when it comes to cost of attendance, this is what the breakdown looks like. So for tuition and fees, it's going to be about 65%. And then for housing is and food for the entire year is about 25%. Health insurance is very important here in the United States. So that covers about 5%. And then the travel and miscellaneous is about 5%. So, what are something to expect and to prepare for when it's coming to the United States? So, something to think about is the different steps. For coming to the U of A, we do have an application fee of $85, and sometimes we do have application fee waivers. So, at this moment, we do have application fee waivers for students who are interested in spring of 2026. So the United States, we have two terms. We have the winter term and the spring term, okay? So the spring term starts in January all the way to May, and then the fall term starts in August all the way to December. So those are the two terms that we have. And so if you're interested in spring of 2026 to January 2026, I would be happy to give you the application fee waiver. Um, all you have to do is apply and submit your transcripts, and I'll be able to give that. And then the next steps after you have applied, you will have to pay the enrollment fee. The enrollment fee at U of A is $450. This is covering any placement test, your CAT card, any of the evaluation that has been done, any of the orientation or anything like that that is in the future that you will have to attend. Those are the things that it's paying for, and it's also securing your seat because we are a very known school. A lot of students tend to come here, and we want to make sure we have enough seats for everyone. So you need to secure your seat and secure your spot with paying the $450. After you have done that, after you have provided your statements and you have shown that you have either scholarships or a way to pay for your tuition and fee, then you'll be receiving an I-20. The I-20 is that document that you'll be taking to get your visa. So then you will start your visa process. So for the visa process, you will be required to pay the SEVIS fee and the DS-160 fee. Okay, so that is paying for your visa, and that is further down the line. And then you also have, after you have received your visa, then you have to think about flights and housing. So we will walk you through the steps on how to find housing and to make sure that you apply to housing before the deadline. And then as far as flights, that will be your responsibility to look for flights that is going to accommodate with our time. So you can be able to come to our institution 2 to 3 weeks before school starts. And so it will be your responsibility to kind of gauge what flights you wanted to choose. So when it comes to our tuition breakdown, this is for the entire year, for this fall semester and the spring semester. So for the entire year, our tuition is up to $45,258. And then there is the housing and meal. So these are two together are 17,500. But this is an estimate because we don't know if you decided to go with the cheapest housing and the most expensive meals or the cheapest housing and the cheapest meal. So this is just an estimate for housing and meals. Once we get down to choosing the housing and things like that, you'd be able to know exactly how much you owe. And then we have health insurance for the year as well for 2,765. So all of this annual total ups to $65,523. This is for the entire year. This does not mean that you have to pay this all at once. They will divide this into two, okay? They will divide it into two terms, and then you'll be able to have a plan, whether it be payment plans or anything like that. So that's how our this is for the entire, this is something you'll be paying every year for the next 4 years. So international students will need to demonstrate that they have this funding for both tuition and fees to be able to get their visa. So for you to be able to get your visa, you need to prove to us that you do have $65,000 in your bank account, whether it be scholarship or whether it be sponsorship, external scholarships, or anything like that. Whatever you do receive would be able to subtract the rest of the amount. So that is further in the process, but like I said, that is something you have to demonstrate in order for you to get your visa. So let's talk about scholarships, okay? Here at U of A, we have something called the Global Wildcat Award Scholarship. This scholarship, we make it so easy that our international students can, majority of them get this, okay? So it is, no application is required for this scholarship. This scholarship, it is based off of your GPA. It is not based off an essay. It is not based off of your personal statement. It is not based on anything else but your GPA, your merit. This scholarship is also renewable. It means you can get this scholarship every single year for the next 4 years. Okay, so this is a scholarship you can get every single year for the next 4 years. We do offer this scholarship for first-time freshmen and transfer students. But for transfer students, it does cut you off at 10,000 being maximum. Transfer students, it's 10,000 being maximum, and first-time freshmen, it's 20,000 maximum. So you could be receiving 20,000 every single year if your GPA is great, okay? So the higher the GPA, the more money you'll be receiving, okay? This is a new scholarship we just added this year. This is called the Service and Leadership Scholarship. This scholarship is offered to you after you're admitted, okay? The first scholarship is automatic, right? The first Global Wildcat Scholarship Award, that one is automatic. You will be automatically given to you after admission. The second scholarship, the Service and Leadership Scholarship, that one is given to you after admission, and you also need to apply to it. So it is competitive, and it is also essay based. So you need to write an essay. They will give you a prompt. So after you're admitted, you'll get an essay saying, an email saying, congratulations. We would love for you to apply to service and leadership. Here's a prompt. So they will give you a prompt. You follow the prompt, you answer the questions, and you give them the essay. This scholarship is not renewable. They will not give you this scholarship every single year. Okay. This scholarship, it varies. It goes from $500 all the way to $5,000. Okay. So this is an amazing opportunity for students to show us, how are you a leader? How are you serving your community? Are you involved in the school? Are you involved in extracurricular? Are you involved in sports? Are you involved in volunteering? Are you involved in the community? What are ways that you could show us that you are an outstanding student? So this is an opportunity for you to brag about what you have done and to be getting about $5,000 in scholarship. The other scholarship we do have is called the Scholarship Universe. This is another scholarship that you have an opportunity to apply to after you are admitted. So after you're admitted, you will be able to see different scholarships and see which one you qualify for. So it is very competitive and the amount varies. So the award, it can be reoccurring, it can be a one-time scholarship, it could be a big scholarship, it could be a small scholarship. So there's different scholarships that are available for the scholarship universe that you could be able to apply to. This is after admission. And the last scholarship, no application is required, but this scholarship unfortunately does not apply to you guys in Namibia. This scholarship is only location based. So for students who are from these specific places, from Sonora. So like none of you guys will be able to apply to that scholarship. But you still have 3 options for scholarship, and you could be able to see external scholarships as well that you could be able to see. Here at U of A, we let our students apply to as many scholarships as you want. As long as you're able to bring in the money, we'll be able to allow it. Other institutions, other schools, they limit how many scholarships you can get. Here at U of A, this is the ones that we can offer internally, and then you can see which ones that you could be able to see from external places. So how do I apply? Our application is super easy, super fast. There's only 4 different steps. One is to go onto our website, everywhere.arizona.edu. Our fall application, the deadline is May 1st. So for fall of 25, coming up in August, the deadline is May 1st. So we will not have enough time for you guys to apply to this one. But if you are interested in applying for next year, for fall of 2026, you can apply and the deadline will be May 1st of 2026. For spring of 2026, the deadline is November 1st of 2025. Okay. So for us, I really highly recommend for those people who are in here and are interested in maybe applying in for spring of 2026, please apply before November 2025. Then the next step is for you to upload your transcripts. All we need is a minimum GPA of 3.0. We have admitted students with less GPA, but if you get a less GPA of less than 3.0, you will not be getting a scholarship. Okay? In order for you to get a scholarship, you need a 3.0. But like I said, we need a minimum of 3.0. And then we do need 3 years of the last coursework, and it has to be in English. Okay? We need 3 years of your transcripts. So we will be able to convert your GPA into US GPA equivalency, okay? Because in Namibia, I'm not sure how they do the testing, how they score your testing, but we will be able to convert that, okay? Other institution, you will have to pay external people to do that for you, and that's an additional $300 they will add that to you. But here at U of A, we will do that internally. Third thing is of English proficiency. I believe Namibia does not need English proficiency, but I will double check on that. Um, if a country is an English speaking country, then English proficiency is not needed. And if you were taught in high school in English, then English proficiency is also not needed. And then the fourth step is for you to submit and pay for your application. Like I said, you guys attending here, you'd be able to get your application fee waived. I'll be happy to waive your application fee for people who are interested in spring of 2026. The only thing that I need you to do is submit your application and submit the transcripts. Those are the only two things you need to be able to qualify for the application fee waiver. Okay? Your application and your transcripts needs to be submitted. Okay? So here are some application tips. Okay? So tip number one, your academic history. When you're applying, please make sure you are attaching all of the documents that you have. Okay, so apply, add all the transcripts that you need, add all the backgrounds, all the information. Once you get to the bottom, it will say review. When you click review, it will show you if you're missing anything. Okay, it will show you if you're missing any of the required fields, if you misspelled something or you put something incorrectly. At the review, it will let you know. It will not let you move forward with submission if you did not finish any of the things. Okay, so click review, look at anything you're missing, click on the things that you're missing. It will take you back to it and you fill it out correctly. After you have done that, then you can click submit. Okay, so if it's not letting you hit submit, it's because you probably are missing something. Okay, so then once you hit submit, that's when you can email me and say, hey, madam, you told me that I can be able to get an application fee waiver. Then I will go in and pay for the application fee. Okay. So once you have applied and I paid your application fee, the next thing I will be able to be doing, you need to start doing is to wait. It takes us 10 business days, okay? 10 business days for us to review your documents, to review your application, to verify everything, and to give you a decision. Okay, so while you're waiting, I need you to be on your email to make sure that you are checking your email every day to make sure that I'm not reaching out to you to say, hey, we are missing additional things, or hey, this does not look right, give us some more things. So you'll be getting more communication. So the communication you'll be receiving is, congratulations, you have submitted your application. Hey, you're missing something. Your application is complete, or here is a decision. Okay, so that's why it's important for you to check your email after you have applied. So here is a place for you guys to check us out, to connect with us. If you're interested in seeing students and seeing what the campus looks like from a student's perspective, we have Instagram. We also have our phone. So if you want to talk to someone right now, you could be able to call us as well. We also have an email address. If you are quick to just wanting to email us, that's there. We also have a Facebook if you would like to see more information, more photos, more events that's happening, and things like that. That's all going to be on our Facebook. We also have something called WeChat. WeChat is international student workers who are on the chat. So if you go onto our website right now, a WeChat will pop up and you could be able to communicate with the international students. Ask them anything. Ask them, do you like it? What's the weather like? Where are you from? How was your process? What questions did they ask you at the visa? Like so many questions that you can ask at international students so that, oh, like I said, we have WeChat, it's on our website. So these are the two useful links. Like I said, if you are interested in applying, the first link is here. Please take a photo, take a time to screenshot that. And then we also have the second one as well for general application as well. So both useful links if you're interested in applying. So pull it out right now if you're interested. And now I am open for any questions that you guys might have.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. Um, just a few questions. There's one that is on your in your direct message I
Okay.
sent you. Somebody asked about the freedom of speech in the US, and also maybe there's some rumors going around that it's not safe for international students in the state anymore. Especially also when you criticize the new administration, like there's some consequences. I don't know. As an American, how true that is from your perspective, one, and then also just reassuring the safety of the international students before I ask three of the questions that I have for the Namibian students.
Absolutely. That's a really good question to ask. As far as the University of Arizona, we still do have freedom of speech, and our students are free to participate in that. Um, we do have lots of ways for our students to speak up. And so, like I mentioned, we do have campus police that do not tolerate any sort of issue. So if you feel like you're not feeling safe or anything like that, you could be able to reach out to them. But as far as safety as an international student in the United States, you are right. There are some stuff going on around the United States, but as long as you are not a criminal or as long as you don't have any criminal background, international students are safe. So, as long as you have your paperwork and things like that, you'll be okay. And so for us here at U of A, we promise that we will, we are making sure that we're following the rules, but at the same time, we're making sure that our students are safe. Yes. But that's a good question to have.
Thank you. Also, is there a way you can maybe drop these links in the chat so that it can be posted on our WhatsApp, sorry, on our Facebook page? And that would
Um,
be great.
yes, I will just put it in
Okay.
the chat.
Okay, so one of the Namibian students would want to know how would you calculate your GPA so that they can actually qualify for the see if they qualify for the for to apply for the University of Arizona State.
So the good thing is we have processing teams that they're professionals who have studied in different places and they do have the Namibian rubric. So I don't know the calculation specifically, but at the end of every Namibian transcripts, they do have a GPA scale. So what the processing team does is take that information and compare it to US, and they do a different math and calculation to kind of determine it. Um, so there are different resources online that are free that you could estimate and kind of have an idea of where your GPA is sitting at. But I highly recommend for you to just send over your transcript to us. I mean, there's no harm in it because you have an application fee waiver right now, so you're not losing anything. Why don't you just send me your transcript, send me your information. I do the work of, the processing does the work of looking at all the info, and then you could be able to have an idea of what your GPA is at. Okay?
Awesome, thank you. I've also heard you present about scholarships. I don't know. I'm not the head of any um, full ride scholarship. I don't know. Is there any of full rights, any full ride scholarship that is available? And also, if a student is allowed to work on campus, do you think their income would help them pay for the tuition fee? Is that enough?
So the first question uh regarding scholarship, we do not have full ride scholarship, unfortunately. We don't have need-based scholarships either. Our scholarship is partial. So mainly it will cover just partial of the tuition and fees. And then the international students that we do currently have are either covering the rest of the stuff with external scholarships, sponsorships from either their government or family, or loans as well. So that's an option. We do have jobs on campus for students, over 10,000 different jobs. You, as an international student, cannot work outside of campus. That would be illegal, and that will be jeopardizing your visa. And so if they find out, you will be in a lot of trouble and they will send you home for that. So we always, always emphasize, please do not work off campus because it is illegal for you, but you can work on campus. We have lots of different jobs for you to work on campus. And so because of that, the jobs that you do tend to get on campus, because you're a full-time student doing 20 hours as a student, you would only work 20 hours as a part-time worker. So the 20 hours per week is not going to give you so much that is going to cover your tuition and fees. So in the summertime, you do have the option of working for more than 20 hours because you're not in class. So then maybe you could be making a lot more then and working a lot more during summertime. But as far as covering tuition and fees, it wouldn't be because you're only making about $15 an hour for 20 hours a week. And so that doesn't really cover tuition and fees. Okay. I do see another question here. The clarification based on rumors on TikTok about U.S. embassies across African country closing down. If it happens, how will one apply for a visa to study in the U.S.? That's a really good question. We have heard the rumors, but so far we are working with different organizations in different places all over Africa, and we haven't heard yet any embassies close yet. But from what our school president is letting us know is we are just going to go as we hear things. So um it's not certain. There's no countries in Africa that I've heard that their embassy has officially closed. And so far our students are still going to get their visas and things like that. But when it comes to how will we move forward with getting our visas if the places are closed, I think our president at the university will kind of give us guidance when the time comes. But for right now, because none of them are closed, we don't have any plans set for that, unfortunately. Any other questions? These are good questions. Do we have any more questions? I can go back to the slide about
So there was a specific one that was asking if there are any specific admission requirements for the students from certain countries. For example, I think in Namibia, are there any specific requirements that the Namibian student need to submit? And also different kind of courses, like programs that you need to do, what programs are available, and are there any specific requirements for any specific program that you need to apply for? Those are some of the few questions that I've gotten or that I got.
Okay, that's great. So as far as Namibia, let's check together to see if English proficiency is required. But for right now, Namibia, it's not, you're only required to submit your English proficiency, not English. You are told to provide your transcripts, the last 3 years of your transcripts. So when you go to our website, there is a portion where, give me a second, I can share my screen with you so that we can all see together. So everybody could see this is the website. Right here is where I believe you could see English proficiency. So it says English proficiency. And when we go there, I can click on finding out which country. And when I search Namibia, it will say that you do not need English proficiency, okay? So for Namibian students, English proficiency is not needed. All we need from Namibian students is your application and your transcripts. So if you are applying for example, business school, you would have to go back to the program search that I had earlier, and look into the program specific because every program is different. Like I said, we have over 9,000 different programs available. And so I cannot memorize each program and what it needs and things like that. But what I could provide is this slide right here. This is going to tell you specifically what the program requires for you. For example, Eller University, which is for no, Eller College, I mean. It is a business school for business students. So instead, you do have you are required to submit your English proficiency. No, I'm sorry. You are required to submit a higher elevated GPA. So for students for business, engineering, nursing, those GPA, those programs, they need a higher GPA than the rest. So if you're interested in a specific program and wanting to know if they have specific requirements of what courses you need to take, of what is important for them for you to take in your high school career, then you need to find it in here, the arizona.edu/degree search. So I'm going to put that in the chat as well so that everybody could see. It's Arizona. So, but for the general admission is just your application and your transcripts, nothing else for general admission. Okay, so that is the other. So someone is asking to cover master courses offered as well as requirements at Arizona. So masters is actually different because they require a lot more and their programs are different. We can do a master's program presentation if you'd like, but I could whoever messaged me, you can email me. I will put my email address in the chat. Email me and I can give you a little bit more specific information when it comes to master's courses, because master students do need some of the programs need GRE, some of the programs require personal statement, CV, and things like that. So a lot more in depth. John, if you would like, we could do another graduate program presentation just for graduate students because that is a little bit more information, more in depth for graduate students. So, but for Hannah, if you would like to email me, I would be happy to give you that information. Okay, I put my email in the chat for students who are interested in emailing me to ask me. So I am the counselor for Namibia, and so any issues or anything that you would need, you'll be communicating with me first, and then I'll be able to put you into different places and things like that.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I don't know. So my questions are done. I don't know if there are any other questions that that didn't get responses to. I think other than that, I would like to thank you, Elizabeth, for coming through
Mm-hmm.
and for educating our students, informing them about different courses, opportunities available for them, how they can apply. It's also a relief to know that application waiver is, application fees is waived for them for this
Yes.
for this application cycle.
Mhm.
It's quite a relief. Yeah, no, would like to thank you very much on behalf of everyone. Um, I think we meet again for the postgraduate presentation. We will have to
Yes.
schedule it and then share. I think there's something on the chat.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Since the
Says
general
the
admission,
general.
yeah.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay, since the general admission is the application in your transcripts, what if you have a degree but would like to pursue another bachelor's degree? Is the GPA calculated based off of both results? And when do we pay for the enrollment fee? That's a really good question. So one, whenever I hear a student having a degree and then getting another degree, it always puts a red flag because the consulate at the visa usually question that. Like, why are you going parallel instead of going up, instead of going for your master's program or things like that? Um, so if you, so as far as admission in general, the transcripts that we will be looking at your your bachelor's degree. We will not you will be considered a transfer student. You will not be considered a first-time freshman, if that makes sense. So if you put down, I already have a degree and I would like to get another degree, we will just evaluate the degree. Um, or you can also give us your transcripts. We do not combine them. It would be separate. We only would look at one, either your degree or your high school um, transcripts. That makes sense. But I highly recommend for students who are interested in possibly redoing um, a different program than the degree that they already have, you have to prepare to answer those type of questions at the visa because it looks to them suspicious that you are trying to do a bachelor's degree instead of master's degree. It does look better if you are going for a master's or a PhD program instead of another bachelor's degree. The chances of you getting a visa are a bit higher if you're going up instead of going, if that makes sense. Um, I do have a link. Um, I know, John, you have shared that with a couple of people. So if anyone is interested, um, you can shoot me an email if you are not able to if you're not able to submit all the information right now. Just email me and I'll be able to help you out. Oh, I forgot to answer the last question. When do you have to pay your enrollment fee? So enrollment fees are usually the deadlines. It depends on which term. So for fall students, um, the enrollment fee is May 1st. And so for students who are interested in spring of 2026, I believe the enrollment fee is December. So for students who are applying for spring, it'll be in December. Do you offer any students exchange programs? We do, but it depends on what you mean, which programs. We do have study abroad. We also have some programs that are switching students and things like that, but I have not heard of any in the continent Africa where we exchange students and things like that. But we do have different organ programs that you'd be interested in. These are good questions. Again, thank you so much for everyone who came in and asked the questions. I know we're coming towards the end, so if you have any last minute questions, please let me know. Like I said, for those people who are interested in the application fee, I'd be happy to give you an application fee waiver if you apply for Spring 26, and you have to apply as soon as possible because the application fee waiver does run out. And so once you apply, once you have submitted the documents, you can even send the documents directly to me and let me know that you've applied, and I could be able to help you out and then waive the application fee. How is the weather like in the US compared to Namibia? So I have been to Namibia, and to compare how I felt in Namibia and how I feel here, I think we have a dry heat. Similar to Namibia, because we both are deserts. In the summertime, I do warn you, it does get very hot. Um, it does get very hot, but that's during the time where a lot of students are really busy with working, or a lot of students are traveling to those other states like California, Texas, New York to just visit and see, what the United States looks like. Are you able to apply for semester in the future? I would like to apply for 2029. So for 2029, I do believe you can apply for 2028, but I think that's as far as we can go for right now. But I'd say check it out, start the application. I don't think it goes all the way to 2029, but at least we can have your information so that once it gets closer to 2029, you could be able to the information is easily in there. But please check it out. I do believe maybe 2028, and you can apply to that and then defer to a future term? That's a good question. Any last minute questions before we wrap up? Again, thank you so much for taking your time to learn more about us. We do have a lot of international events that happen. We do have events like the International Voice Student Panel, where you will be speaking to students. They will talk to you, they will let you know. It's kind of like this, and you guys put in the chat. The students will be able to let you know what program, how is coursework? How are they balancing work and school at the same time? In the future, I could do another, John, we could do another presentation and actually have a student here with us. I can try and find a Namibian student even to possibly come here and they could talk to you guys specifically on how their experience as a Namibian student and how they went through. So I'm going to search and see who's going to be available because I know international students can be very busy. And so they might be busy, but I could definitely do that. But we could also do a graduate presentation as well to talk about graduate information.
Awesome.
So
No,
the
that
number.
would be great.
Awesome. So someone's asking about WhatsApp. It's not linked to WhatsApp. That number should be linked to WhatsApp. I do have a WhatsApp number. Um, if you send me an email, actually, let me just pull it up. I'll put the number for my WhatsApp in the chat right now so that you guys can reach out to me via WhatsApp. We're also working on having a big WhatsApp group for specific students. So once you get admitted and you start in the process and starting the visa and things like that, we're thinking of possibly having a WhatsApp group for admitted students so you guys can chat, you can discuss. You could be like, I'm from Namibia, and then maybe you can find someone for Zambia and you guys can chat together and things like that. So that's my WhatsApp number, Hannah. I'm going to actually put it for everyone to see so that it's not just specifically. All right, John. Is this it? Do we have any last minute questions before we wrap up? You have my email, you have my what not my phone number, um, and you have all the information.
That's a great way to actually make yourself available, either on WhatsApp
Yes.
or on the email, whichever is convenient, whichever is faster. So yeah,
Yes.
sure. Thank you very much, Elizabeth.
No
And
problem.
yeah,
Thank
until we
you.
meet again.
Yes. Thank you so
Bye
much,
bye,
John.
everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, everyone. Yes, Ellen. Good job. Send me an email. Ellen will be the first one to get the application fee waiver. Good job on applying. Okay. Bye, guys.